It's ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. In our major story, Borno Elders Forum raises the alarm that Boko Haram insurgents have surrounded Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan promises not to interfere with ongoing investigations into the alleged links between former Borno State Governor Ahmadu Sharif and Boko Haram. Bafemi Awolowo University raises fears over Ebola presence on campus, clears air of a female student suspect. And outside Nigeria, judge clears South African Paralympian Oscar Pistorius murder charge. Thanks for staying with us. Now, details of the headlines and other stories. The Borno Elders Forum has raised the alarm that Boko Haram insurgents have surrounded the Borno state capital, Maiduguri, and are preparing to launch an attack to capture it. The group stated this on Thursday while calling on military reinforcement. The alert from the forum, made up of retired senior civilians and military officials, came after the Understates of America warned of an imminent attack on the city. An analyst claimed the government risked losing control of the region. The Air France Presse reported the militants are now set to control an area from the north around Lake Chad down to its eastern border with Cameroon and round to Bama, 70 kilometers from Maiduguri to the south. The defense headquarters claimed that Nigerian troops had retaken Bama, but the Borno elders said the government needed to act, asserting that the insurgents were in reach of the city. Fears gripped the Bora communities of Hawul local government area of Borno State as the rampaging members of the Boko Haram attacked some people in the predominantly Christian communities. The Baru-speaking communities attacked by the insurgents are Shafa and Tessan. A security source told CoreTV News that the insurgents were exploiting the absence of soldiers in the communities. The source says some members of the sect invaded the Tessan community and issued them a 24-hour ultimatum to convert to Islam or be wiped out. The insurgents, who were said to have stormed Tessan on Wednesday evening, allegedly killed a retired military officer before leaving the community. They were said to have left for nearby Shafa community, where they also killed a retired army officer and a retired policeman, bringing the number of those killed to 3. The source said that the Christian communities along the Biu Hawu Gakida Mobi Road are now gripped with fear, as there is a possibility that the insurgents will attack at the expiration of the ultimatum. President Goodluck Jonathan says he won't interfere with ongoing investigations into the alleged links between former Borno State Governor Ahmadu Sharif and Boko Haram. He also maintained that the former governor was not on his entourage to Chad. Jonathan, who spoke through his spokesman Ruben Bati, explained at a press briefing in Abuja that the pictures which formed the basis of the claims were from an airport reception.
Totally erroneous basis for that charge was a spurious claim that Senator Sharif accompanied President Jonathan on his recent trip to N'Djamena as a member of his entourage. Although Senator Sharif himself has already given the lie to that claim through his media advisor, the presidency wishes to affirm, for the purpose of emphasis, that the former Borno State governor was not on President Jonathan's delegation to Chad. Those who associate with Senator Sharif know that he has long-standing interest in Chad and often spends a lot of time in that country. He happened to be in N'Djamena at the time of President Jonathan's visit, and what happened was that he joined other Nigerian residents of the Chadian capital in coming to the airport to welcome their president. That was the full extent of his participation in the visit. And it was also at the N'Djamena International Airport that the pictures, which formed the basis of the bogus allegation of President Jonathan hobnobbing with an accused sponsor of terrorism, were taken.
The Arewa Consultative Forum has hailed federal government's move to reinstate 10,000 retired soldiers back into the Nigerian army. It, however, advised that authorities to ensure that only qualified personnel are recalled. ACF argues in a statement issued in Kaduna that former Niger Delta militants who were never in the military should be excluded from the process, having benefited from the amnesty program. ACF insists that ex-militants are not qualified for either reinstatement or recall from the reserve list. A clarion call has once again been made for the empowerment of a girl child. This according to the Oyo State Officials' Wives Association. Organizers of the program will stem the rising tide of violence crimes against women and the girl child. Ebulomo Adekunle was at the event. She brought back this report.
The Kakanfo Inn, Ibadan, venue of the two-day sensitization program for the empowerment and education of the girl child, organized by wives of Oyo State government officials under the leadership of wife to the state governor, Florence Ajimobi, witnessed a huge crowd as women trooped in for a common cause. The theme of the program, Girl Child Empowerment, a Challenge for All, was driven from different angles by speakers at the occasion.
I've never liked the idea of girl child. Please tell my father I am not a girl child. First, I am a child. Second, I am a girl. There's nothing called girl child. Let me just quickly demystify that, long myth of the fact that women are the weaker sex. There's nothing like women are the weaker sex, because earlier in this year, all the most important federal government ministries in this country were led by women. The Minister of Petroleum is a woman. The Minister of Finance, woman. Minister of Water Resources, woman. Minister of Education, woman. Women Affairs, woman. Minister of Water Resources, woman. Minister of Information and Science and Communication Technology, woman. Apart from all those ministries, other ministries are other ministries. And so if our petrol, our water, our education, our environment, our aviation, and everything that makes us significant as human beings are managed by women, we are actually not the weaker sex. We are the more powerful sex.
Sound trusts the women folk to leverage on issues, especially those that touches their hearts. The fate of the over 200 missing girls and the confinement of the dreaded Boko Haram also receives the attention.
I sympathize with this country, Nigeria, and I sympathize with myself at the same time. I pray that these girls come back to Nigeria, these over 200 Chibok girls. It is a pity for the past days, 149 days ago, we have not been able to recover these children. But as we mothers continue to pray, we are all on our knees that God should please bring back these girls safe.
Yes, I believe and I hope and I pray every day as a mother and as a sister. I know that they will definitely come back if something drastic is done. But I know I've heard a number of times in the papers, in the media, the president and top military officials have promised, have told us they know where these girls are. So I think more efforts should be put in trying to ensure their rescue and they should be brought back safely. I believe in the strength of our military. I know that our government is doing enough, and if enough is done with collaboration of other countries, I know these girls will be rescued back safely someday, and I pray and I hope.
Participants also speak on the significance of the program and its expected impact.
I discovered that we need to empower our child girl. We need to empower them to know their rights and to be able to face challenges so that women will be they will be reckoned with in Nigeria, so that the male child will not overshadow the gift of God in a girl child.
For me, it's all about the rights of the girl, because when you give her her rights, you give her equality, you give her opportunity to, you build her up, you empower her to be whatever she's going to be in life. So for me, it's basically first and foremost about education and her rights. Protect her from the cultural barriers that prevent her from being what she is, actualizing her dreams.
Gender equality and the empowerment of the girl child have been on the front burner of most women gatherings. The gathering, however, tasked participants on the practicability of the theme of the program. Ebunlomo Adekunle, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Sound.
The Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Osogbo has granted leave to the People's Democratic Party and a court party to serve petition on Governor Ralph Arabeshola through other means, since the personal service option has no fruital. Rashid was at the sitting and filed in this report.
Not minding the fights engaged in by counsels to the APC and the PDP, the two parties presented themselves at the tribunal to seek various leaves. The new chairman who replaced Justice Ayambako, Justice Sulaiman Ambrosa, says the panel will give all parties a level playing field. An application moved by counsel of the People's Democratic Party to serve petition on Ralph Arabeshola through substituted means was granted by the panel.
We tried to serve the governor, but he left instruction that nobody should collect any process from the tribunal. So we had no choice than to pin an application for the purpose of getting him served by substituted means, which we did and which the court graciously granted. So the petition is now going to be posted at the entrance of the government house.
A mild drama ensued when counsel to All Progressives Congress, Kunle Adegoke, raised the petition of the APC written to the National Judiciary Commission questioning the removal of Justice Ayambako based on the petition brought by a court party, while the APC was not in the know of the said petition. Adegoke asked the chairman to recuse from being the chairman of the panel.
The All Progressives Congress wrote a petition to the NJC chairman querying the bona fides of the chairman of the tribunal to actually sit in this panel, and it was based on certain reasons adduced. You would observe that the former chairman, Justice Ayambako, was removed from this particular tribunal some few days ago, based on a petition, as we heard, by a court party acting for and on behalf of People's Democratic Party. And that was done without notice to all the parties involved in this petition. And it's on that basis that we said that, well, if they could forum shop for whatever reason, then we must bring it to the notice and attention of the tribunal that the choice or the choice of the chairman might not be too palatable with us.
Another motion of the APC was that the tribunal should set aside earlier leave granted the PDP for the inspection of INEC materials based on what was described as defective application. A ruling on the issue was, however, reserved by the tribunal.
The tribunal should set aside its order that it granted the People's Democratic Party and its candidates to inspect electoral materials some few days ago, because the order we're saying was granted without jurisdiction. The order was granted on a motion that was defective, because the necessary condition precedent, which was required, was not met by that particular motion.
The panel sets to sit on Friday for ruling on the application of the APC. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshobo.
Reactions have trailed the addition of 30,000 polling units by the Independent National Electoral Commission ahead of the 2015 general elections. Olajumoke Olatunji reports that inequalities in the distribution among the country's geopolitical zones remain a bone of contention. The report.
It is clear that to ensure the 2015 general elections are conducted under a more orderly and conducive atmosphere, thereby creating an environment for free and fair elections and consolidating the gains of the 2011 general elections, additional polling units must be created as described above.
South-South leaders, including former Vice Presidents Alex Ekweme and Edwin Clark, had immediately after INEC confirms the development, asked for the resignation of Atairu Jega as chairman of the electoral body. Others, however, of the opinion that INEC should be left alone to do its work the right way the body deemed fit. Two of them, the spokesperson of the Lagos PDP, Gani Taufik, and a political scientist, Dele Ashiru, also condemned the spate of criticism surrounding the issue.
The number of polling booths they have will not matter. It is for the political party agents and the media to help us on the day of elections, to show us the number of people that are queued on the line to vote, for the agents to know how many people that actually voted. Because the INEC has come out to tell us that the booths are created based on the registered voters. And if that is true, nobody can fault Jega. Jega did not do the registration, and the registration is also ongoing.
To accommodate more people who may be willing, to participate in the electoral process. For goodness sake, if we had X number of polling units in the last 4 years, I don't think it is out of place for an electoral umpire to think that to make the process more enjoyable, more relaxing, more polling units should be created.
Erstwhile chairman of the Ikeja MBA, Monde Ubani, would want to toe the line of Ekweme and Clark. For him, the addition of polling units at this period in the nation's democratic march to 2015 leaves much to be desired.
INEC will have great difficulty, especially Professor Jega, to convince the Southerners of the so glaring inequality in the creation of additional polling units. You created polling units 70% in the northern region and 30% to the south. And the more appalling is the number of polling units in the southeastern region. In fact, the FCT Abuja has more polling, the new additional polling units, more than the entire eastern region, the 5 states combined. That is very insulting. And then the explanation that INEC chairman gave yesterday, I tried to listen to him in order to make sense out of what he was saying, and I couldn't make any meaning out of what he was saying. He was saying that he was trying to simplify the entire process and makes it easier for prospective voters to exercise their franchise in 2015. Oh, if that is intention, why are you not extending this same process of making it easier for the southern voters to exercise their franchise in 2015 by creating adequate number of additional polling units? Why must additional polling units be so disproportionate with the northern region and not the same with the south? When has increase of northerners become so obvious and glaring that you have to deal with the issue of 70% difference and all that?
Meanwhile, political watchers are closely monitoring the developments and its effect on the journey into the 2015 general elections. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's CoreTV Prime Time News. Obafemi Awolowo raises fear over the presence of Ebola on campus. Find out more after this timeout. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. The Obafemi Awolowo University early this week was in the spotlight once again. The reason this time around is a suspected outbreak of Ebola through a female student who had contact with an Ebola patient in Port Harcourt. The university management Thursday addressed journalists to clear the air and give update on the said outbreak. Rashid was there. He filed in this report.
As the news of alleged Ebola outbreak in Obafemi Awolowo University filtered into town, Nigerians are apprehensive and want to know the result of the test run on the suspect.
The university authorities this afternoon are happy to announce to the whole world that the results of the preliminary and confirmatory test proved negative. Consequently, this university is Ebola virus disease free.
The OAU management went further to explain the proactive measures taken by the institution to prevent Ebola outbreak in the university.
It's prepared to handle cases, suspected cases, and we have collaboration with Lagos that if we have suspected cases, they will come in and assist us to transport the patient to their center and then do all necessary investigations.
Maintain standard hygienic precautionary measures as established by the University Ebola Disease Surveillance Committee.
Following the stigma experienced by surviving victims, the school authority announces zero tolerance on the development.
This university has never and will never stigmatize anyone with Ebola virus disease. There's no way the student will come back and will not allow her to continue studentship. A few of the students that are from neighboring, especially from Liberia, we've told them not to resume, and they have not resumed.
As the Obafemi Awolowo University is certified free from Ebola, it is expected that Nigeria will also be free from the dreaded disease sooner than later. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ile-Ife.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are divided on federal government's insistence on a September 22nd resumption date for schools across the country. While many are demanding a return to the previous October 13 date, there are others who are convinced that the authorities are on top of the situation. The report.
Ebola virus was imported to Nigeria by the late Liberian-American Patrick Sawyer in August, and since then the country has had to battle with the spread. One of the decisions taken to contain it was to extend the resumption date to October 13th before it was moved down to September 22. But this man sees no harm in forfeiting a single term for the sake of saving lives.
Let there be complete containment exactly of this issue first. In all the states, in all the cities, that there is no more individual being suspected of having the Ebola virus, whether on quarantine or whatsoever record. You understand? That's how it should have been. After this now, they can go ahead to resume. One single academic term wouldn't do much damage, if I were to say.
Some parents who spoke to CoreTV News say government should be given a second chance.
I think we Nigerians should trust the experts. That's the Ministry of Health. They are the ones who are in a position to know whether our children are still at risk or the Nigerians are still at risk. If they think that it is all right for schools to resume on the 22nd of September, then all of us should accept it, because I don't think that they will advise us to bring our children together when we are still at risk of the Ebola virus disease. So I don't understand why there should be a controversy about it.
Actually, the federal government has a plan for Nigerian children, and I agree with them. The Parent Teachers Association should shift stand. I agree with the federal government.
This student is from Anglican Comprehensive Secondary School. She says she will only return to school if her safety is guaranteed.
But let them be a clinic in the school in case of any student has it.
So you feel safe if there's a clinic in school?
Yes.
For now, Nigerians will have to stick with the new school resumption dates, as the government say it has no plan to revert to the old resumption date of October. But a number of Nigerians are scared that not many school children will know what to do in case of any eventuality around their school premises.
The Nigerian government plans to build 6 new world-class medical facilities and diagnostic centers in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. This according to the chairman of the Ministerial Committee on the Establishment of World-Class Hospital and Diagnostic Center, Tony Elumelu, is to ensure proper healthcare services for the citizenry. He made this known while speaking on the outcome of the committee's meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja.
We believe that health sector is key for the development of a country. Human capital is important, and you have to have a healthy workforce for a country to develop. And we're happy that this administration is seriously committed to pushing things forward in that space. We updated the president on the journey so far with 2 statistics of the hospital projects in the country that have not been completed. We came up with 84 hospital projects distributed across the country. We shared this with Mr. President. Our intent is to see how this committee, working with this government, can help to bring closure in terms of completion to all these hospitals, so that our people will stop traveling to India, other South Africa, and other places for medicine. My committee believes that everyone should urge the Senate, the entirety of our National Assembly, to help pass the NHIS bill into law, as that will unlock a lot of opportunities in the health sector that will provide the much needed effective demand of funding that will help the sector to take off. If we do not pass the if our Senate and House of Reps don't pass the NHIS bill, we won't achieve much. So as our senators and representatives go back to their constituents and constituencies to seek re-election mandates, we should ask them to please give us national health bill and the NHIS that will help us as a country.
You're watching CoreTV Prime Time News. We take another break. When we return, it will be time for business news with Sabina Izoku. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Nigerians continue to
the city of Lagos waits at the dark as all routes
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west and around Africa. We break the news.
We are one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV,
a 24-hour news station.
Hello there and welcome to the world of business with me, Sabena Izuku. Key players in Nigeria's private sector are convinced that the presidential job boards could create millions of jobs annually. This is in response to the challenge thrown by President Goodluck Jonathan at the inauguration of the 31-member board. President described the board as a special purpose vehicle. Meanwhile, its leadership believes that the transformation agenda has paved way for the realization of the goal. Nigeria and Indian bilateral trade has increased to $19.5 billion annually, the Indian High Commission Arjun Ganashian says. Ganashian revealed this at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Leadership Initiative Diplomatic Dialogue series held in Lagos. Members of the Nigerian Indian Chambers of Commerce at the event urged the federal government to evaluate the issue of double taxation in Nigeria in order to improve bilateral trade between both countries. Ganashian, who further stressed the need to look into the challenges posed by double taxation in order to improve economic growth and employment in both countries, also revealed his plan to meet Nigeria's coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, President of Indian Chambers of Commerce, who says there is need for greater ties for both countries and better relations and for better policy level. The federal government held a two-day training for 114 master bakers from North Central Zone of the inclusion of 20% cassava flour in bread production. Assistant Chief Agriculture Officer, Root and Tuber Division, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Olajumoke Adewolu, says in Lafayette on Thursday the essence was to improve the quality of bread. Also, the inclusion of high cassava flour would reduce the cost of producing bread and put an end to the importation of wheat. Nasarawa State Director, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Alhaji Umaru Mohammed, who says Nigeria was the largest producer of cassava in the world, urged the bakers to fully maximize the abundant resources and the new initiative to improve their products. The program drew 20 participants, each from all the states in the North Central Zone and the Federal Capital Territory. National Insurance Commission, NICOM, on Thursday says the insurance industry contribution to the gross domestic product has dropped to 0.6%. This was said at the 2014 Insurance Professionals Forum organized by the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria in Abeokuta, Ogun State, with the theme Insurance Industry, New Trends, New Strategies. The drop in the contribution was as a result of the recent rebasing of Nigerian economy, which made it the largest in Africa and the 26th in the world. The old base economy, the insurance industry contribution to the gross domestic product was 0.7%. According to report, this therefore calls for more dynamic strategies to deepen the insurance research, rich among the populace. On the stock market report, equity transaction on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All Shares Index depreciated by 0.31% to close at 40,757.20 basis points. Market capitalization decreased and closes in the same manner at 13.457 trillion naira. In all, a total of 267 billion shares, valued at 3.06 billion naira, were exchanged in 4,756 deals. Report shows that Seplat Oil topped the gainers chart, followed by 40 Oil, PZ Industry, Premium Brewers, and Dangote Sugar. On the other hand, Corn Oil topped the losers chart, followed by Guinness PLC, Dangote Cement, Oando, and Capstone. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. Gifto Gatel will be back with the rest of the news. Please stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And now to sports stories. Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi has defended the drab 0-0 draw played on Wednesday night between his team and the Bafana of South Africa at the Cape Town Stadium in March, day 2 of the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. The African champions are in danger of not qualifying for the tournament in Morocco in 2015, where they were expected to defend their title won in 2013. But Keshi insists he was satisfied by the performance of his players in a game dominated by the South Africans, who are now second on the log, 3 points ahead of Nigeria, who they have never defeated in the competitive games in international football. Nigeria now have just 12 points to play from a possible 18 and will play Sudan both home and away in October. The league management company LMC has hinted that league matches will resume on September 17, 2014, after crisis in the Nigerian football has experienced relative peace. Aminu Megari returned to office following the vacation of Giwa from office on the insistence of the World Football Governing Body. The top official of the LMC told Go that with an end to the imbroglio in the football house, with 26 matches of the Premier League would be played on September 17. Meanwhile, the president of the Nigeria Referees Association, NRA, Hamed Mode, said it was his joy to see the end of impunity, adding that the renewed peace in the football house should be dedicated to Nigerians who are lovers of due process. Floyd Mayweather said he intends to have 2 more fights after Saturday's rematch with Marco Maidana in Las Vegas before retiring in 2015. However, the 37-year-old Mayweather squashed reports that he is in talks with Philippine League Manny Pacquiao. Mayweather, who is unbeaten in 46 professional fights, earned a majority decision over Argentine Maidana, I beg your pardon, in May. The American says the possibility of fighting the congressman is still possible if he adhered to his terms. Paraguay's Fabrizio Zanotti has been rushed to hospital after a tragic incident at the KLM Open in the Netherlands. Play was suspended at the Dutch tournament after Zanotti was hit by a ball while playing at the Kemia Golf Club. The 31-year-old was on the 16th fairway in Zandvoort when he was injured by a ball hit from the 14th tee. Zanotti, who won the BMW International Open early this season, received treatment on the course and was then taken to hospital. The judge in the Oscar Pistorius trial has cleared him of murder, but has left it to Friday to announce whether the athlete is guilty of culpable homicide. Judge Thukozile Masipa said prosecutors had not proved he meant to kill his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp, prompting tears from the Olympic splinter. But she said he acted hastily and had been negligent. Pistorius says he thought an intruder was in the toilet. Adjourning the trial, the judge said a reasonable person would not have fired. She is expected to deliver a verdict of culpable homicide, manslaughter, but has not yet spelled it out. Earlier, Judge Masipa described Pistorius as an invasive witness, but said this did not mean he was guilty. Clearing him of murder charges, she said he could not have foreseen killing whoever was behind the toilet door. The South African Olympic and Paralympic splinter had denied murdering Steenkamp after a row on Valentine's Day last year, saying he shot her by mistake. He has pleaded not guilty to all the charges he faces, including 2 counts of shooting a firearm in public and illegal possession of ammunition. That's been the show tonight. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Gift Ogeta wishing you a pleasant good night rest.